Letitia James, child. Letitia James. The grand jury just indicted her.
Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York, was just indicted? I mean, really?
Really? Letitia ain't scared of you. She ain't scared of you or your prosecutor. Did y'all see what Letitia James said about them indicting her? Watch this.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding.
Was this that important?
Yes.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was.
This breaking news should make every American sick to their stomachs. Lindsay Halligan, the former personal attorney for Donald Trump, who last week had James Comey indicted on flimsy evidence, moments ago just presented evidence before a grand jury seeking to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James, claiming that she committed mortgage fraud, despite the fact that public evidence shows that she almost certainly didn't commit mortgage fraud. These are the actions of a fascist.
Letitia James is indicted, but it doesn't matter. I'll say it again. It does not matter. There is a process and a procedure to actually indicting someone. You know, you have to take it to court. And what's their court record?
According to Pew Research, fewer than 1% of federal criminal defendants were acquitted in 2022.
Honestly, how can you support somebody that attacks their political opponent? Are you referring to Joe Biden and his administration that attacked Trump? Spare me. Trump wasn't attacked by anybody, but now he's attacking Letitia James. Oh, are you talking about the mortgage fraud? The mortgage fraud. It's not even a big deal. Everybody does it. Do you remember what you guys attacked Trump for? You're gonna try to give her a slap on the wrist? Yeah, but Trump was guilty and just steals from people. What are you talking about? In the case for Trump, he got a loan from the bank and paid everything back in full. No, he didn't. Yeah, he did, and the bank even said they wanted to do more business with him because of how well it went. There's a reason the case was dropped. Whatever, he's still guilty and he's still a felon. Nothing I haven't heard for the last 3 to 4 years. Isn't it strange, the same lady that was trying to attack Trump for something was actually what she was guilty of this entire time. Like I've already told you, she's not guilty, and if she is, I mean, it's not even a big deal, it's just mortgage fraud. Got it, it's okay to break the law just as long as you're a part of the Democratic Party, right?
My AG, Attorney General Letitia James here in the state of New York, has been indicted. And apparently the indictment is around a mortgage that she was taking out or helping her niece with. I'm assuming there's some type of shadiness that they're claiming took place.
They have on Letitia James. How do we know? What's the evidence of that?
But I don't think this is anything but smoke and mirrors. They're grasping at straws, y'all. They are trying any and everything to get out of whatever they have been in for God knows how long.
I love it. So you didn't even bother to look at what she actually did. But you're making a video.
Our girl will be okay. I'm putting it out there. She's going to be okay. And Trump and his cronies, they're going down. It's obvious. They can't keep it together.
I just spoke with Tish James, and this is what tyranny looks like. Donald Trump has turned the Justice Department into his personal attack dog to go after his political enemies. This is tyranny. This is outrageous.
To indict the Attorney General, which is your political enemy.
I love this line of thinking. So Letitia James is Trump's political enemy, but Trump is not Letitia James's political enemy. Make that make sense.
Because let's be clear who Letitia James is. The Attorney General in New York who literally was prosecuting DT was indicted today. Really on some frackinackle. She, you know, it's gonna be a nothing burger. She's gonna be exonerated. But the mere fact that you're wasting thousands of dollars while the federal government is on lockdown just shows you the callousness, the carelessness. It is so crazy. And like 8 months in on how bizarre it's going. It is out of order.
This is not simply an attack on Attorney General Tish James. This is an attack on our city. This is a blatant miscarriage of justice.
Breaking today, New York City's Democrat mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani backing New York Attorney General Letitia James after a federal grand jury indicted her on charges of bank fraud. Prosecutors say she falsely claimed a Virginia rental property as a second home to secure better loan terms. James denies any wrongdoing. Fox News contributor and constitutional law attorney Jonathan Turley joins us now. Do you see anything wrong with what she did, Jonathan? Welcome.
Well, I don't remember Mamdani coming out and denouncing James when she ran for office on the pledge to nail Donald Trump for something, not even specifying what it might be, or when she charged him in a fraud case where no one lost money. And in fact, the banks wanted additional loans from Trump and his organization. None of these people were objecting to any of that lawfare. Now, does that mean that this is a lead pipe cinch of a case or that there's not problems? Of course not. This is going to be a tough case for the Department of Justice to be able to land. While they got this case out of New York, it's in a very blue district in Virginia. And also, there's going to be some threshold challenges here, and one of them has some merit. It doesn't mean it's going to prevail. James is likely to say that the acting U.S. attorney who signed off on these charges was not appropriately appointed and therefore should not have held that office. And if that is the case, then the indictment would go down.
Well, to the overall case itself, though, I want to rewind the clock back to February 16th of last year, when Letitia James really was, I guess, for lack of a better word, bragging about the fact that she was trying to hold Donald Trump to account, saying, quote, "When powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. Everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank to get a mortgage. And if they did, our government would throw the book at them. There simply cannot be different rules for different people." It's a little ironic, I think, in hindsight.
Well, John, what's really ironic is she just asked for $500 million of damages against Trump in a case where no one lost any money. In fact, the bank made money. In this case, the government's alleging that she made serious money, that by misrepresenting the status of this property, she made thousands of dollars. And so, unlike her case, they can actually cite to money that ended up benefiting her. Now, does that mean that they can make this case with an entire jury in Northern Virginia? I think the odds still favor James. There's also a good chance that this technicality that she's likely to raise could delay the case. The argument is that the president has 120 days to assign an acting U.S. attorney, but he had already used that period with her predecessor. And there's also a suggestion that the reason that predecessor was let go or forced out is that he was not going to sign off on this prosecution. So it's going to get very messy very fast in this case.
Jazzo, we'll finish off with on whether this is a political retribution on the part of President Trump. This is A.G. Bondi taking a question on that, on whether Trump was pressuring the DOJ to go after his enemies, including James Comey. Listen.
President Trump is the most transparent president in American history. And I don't think he said anything that he hasn't said for years. Comey was indicted in the Eastern District of Virginia by, I may point out, one of the most liberal grand juries in the country.
I'm going to get a last thought from you on that, Jonathan.
Well, both Comey and James are likely to make two claims, vindictive prosecution, selective prosecution. Those are very difficult claims to make in court. They will be citing President Trump in that posting of his, complaining that why haven't you indicted these people? And that is going to be the central piece of evidence they use to try to make out those claims.
But how different is that, Professor, than Tish James campaigning on, "I'm going to get Trump"?
It's not different, but the question is whether they will be able to prevail now in federal court. James went to New York court and got a very favorable judge. We'll see how this plays out. But those types of cases, and I've made those types of arguments in court as criminal defense attorney, they are very hard to make. Judges do not like to look at motivations if there is an otherwise valid crime in the indictment.
Meanwhile, New York Attorney General Letitia James, who knows something about vindictive prosecutions, is now facing charges related to mortgage fraud. And while many on the left were quick to attack the case as politically motivated, CNN's Anderson Cooper called her out for her past campaign promises to go after Trump. Watch this.
According to PolitiFact, the day after she was elected in 2018, Letitia James was asked by a community activist if she was going to sue President Trump, and she replied, quote, "Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally." I mean, that's not a great look for somebody who has just been elected or just been campaigning, who hasn't even looked, I guess, deeply at any evidence.
Here with reaction, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. Thank you both for joining us. So, Greg, you know, it's interesting. The American voter absolutely destroyed Letitia James because they recognized what a completely partisan persecution her attempt to go after Trump was. And they obliterated her by re-electing Donald Trump president. And now she's going to cry and claim that she's being persecuted?
Yeah. I mean, think about what she did. She went on the campaign trail and said, if you elect me, I will abuse my office to get Trump. And then she went about doing it. And now she has the audacity to claim, I'm a victim of weaponization of the law by Trump. These people have no ability at self-reflection. Look, when you tell a bank that your home is primary or secondary to get a lower mortgage rate and you're actually renting it out, that's fraud. You're lying to the lender. You're deceiving the lender about the financial risk. And here the documents, Charlie, incriminate James. She can hardly claim, oh, gee, you know, it was miscommunication, because she's on record saying that's not an excuse. But worse, last year, she issues this public statement declaring that everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank to get a mortgage. Powerful people cannot cheat to get better loans. Well, looks like she did.
Yeah. You know, Nicole, you've devoted your life to prosecuting, enforcing the law as an FBI agent and following all of the rules when you are going after a criminal. And it's kind of interesting to step back and remember everything that the FBI did under James Comey and then also Letitia James in in New York. It's kind of amazing to look at all of the corners that they cut in both of those cases in order to go after one man. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Charlie, I had never seen anything like that before, and I actually just authored a book. It's called The Two FBIs, and I talk about how it was so blatant, what I was seeing. I mean, I was living it firsthand. It's one thing to see news reports, but to actually walk into the FBI and to listen to what was happening on a day-to-day basis, they treated President Trump like he was on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. I had never seen anything like it. And then we saw, as soon as he announced that he was running for president, they slapped him with like 91 charges nationwide. I mean, it's absolutely despicable and disgusting. But what I saw happening, you know, you got Letitia James here. She was unabashedly gloating and finding pleasure in going after President Trump. And what I find really disturbing is that these individuals, now that there is equal enforcement of the law, they call it political retribution. That's not political retribution. And all of a sudden they're crying foul play on DOJ. Where have you been the last 10 years that I had to work under the FBI, starting around 2015, when you were just going after one side of the political spectrum? Anyone that knows anything, we could see it for exactly what it was. And now they're sitting here again, like Greg was saying, acting like they're victims. No, actually what you have is you have an AG and you have an FBI director. You know, you've got Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and they believe in enforcing laws fairly and equally.
And buy me a coffee link to buy Leroy a dog treat. Leroy, stop that. You're so cute. Oh, I love you. I love you. You guys steal the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Leroy, you're not bored, are you? Leroy, did you know that 9 out of 10 people only watch to see you? Yeah. I'm just kind of here holding space for you. It's true. It's true. Leroy, you're so much fun. You're way more fun than any puppet. Right, Leroy?